So IFP is founded on the premise that the most powerful way to affect change is to get youth connecting with other youth to build sustainable peace. But rather than just put them all in a room together and hope that it will happen, it's done in a very intentional way. So what happens from August to June it really can be divided into two different sections. The first part is what we call the training phase, and what we're trying to do is provide a training program that equips our students with the skills, the knowledge, the values in order to become effective peace builders. And then the second part of that initial period is that they then start implementing and putting into practice those skills as they plan conferences. And then at the end of the year, the kind of culminating piece, although it isn't really the end, it's more hopefully the beginning of their careers as peace builders, is that they they facilitate the conference that they've planned in Timor or in Mysot, or one of them happens in Singapore as well. Very strong relationships established during the conference. I think the more obvious ones, the ones we sort of expect to happen, are relationships between facilitators and delegates, where I think many of the facilitators come in with perhaps a little bit of an arrogant attitude that they're going to come in with, you know, some insight, some wisdom about peace building, and that recognition that happens very quickly. I think that actually it's youth connecting youth. It's not youth pontificating to other youth or youth telling other youth how it is. It's actually connecting together and realizing that they have so much to learn from one another. They have so many things in common despite their different backgrounds, and so those relationships that build over time are very, very powerful. I think one example would be a student who came up to me yesterday, really, I mean, with tears in her eyes. This is a student who's very, very well prepared for the conference, who read everything she needed to read, who planned to the nearest minute all the activities she was going to run, who had a very clear sense of all the aims she was going to achieve. And she came to me yesterday and said, you know, my heart is full. I have learned so much more than I have taught. And I thought that was very moving. I think another relationship that happens is between the delegates, and I think that is profoundly important. It's one of the reasons why we make such an effort when we're doing our applications to make sure that we get representatives from different communities. So a good example of that would be we have delegates here in Mysot from the Karen community, who really over the last 30 years have been involved in violent conflict with the Myanmar military government, and many of whom are in refugee camps, who feel oppressed, whose cultures have been squashed, who've been told they can't speak their own language, they can't teach their own religion, all these sorts of things. And for them to be able to teach their cultural dances to Burmese students who are cheering and supportive and loving and open-minded and want to learn, in a culture of trust and celebration is profoundly beautiful and moving to watch, empowering for both sides. And I think it's really special when students, or particularly the Karen and the Karenni youth, who really have so little trust in some of the other ethnic groups, to meet people who don't fit their mould of what they think those people are like. I think that's transformative for them. And so when there are conversations about, you know, is there a possibility of them going home, I think it opens the conversation that, you know, that not everybody is like they think they will be. So I think that's very important. Delegates saying to me, I've never ever felt like I had a voice until now. Or someone else who said to me yesterday, I so admire and I'm so inspired by the facilitators from UWC. They are only 17, and yet they have shown me what is possible when youth work together.